Ito ang inyong lingkod na nagbabalik upang magbigay ng mga balitang walang bias at pawang katotohanan lamang. Ito ang Bayang Pinas. Ang isyong ito ay naging usap-usapan sa buong bansa at iba't ibang social media platforms. Vice President Inday Sara Duterte, sinampal mga aso ni Tamba at nitong si Lizatanas Mags. Iyak ng dugo itong si Kimbo at Saldico Marcoleta. Full support naman dito kay Vice President Sara Duterte at sa kanyang opisina. Dito nga natin makikita mga kaibigan na inilapag na nga ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte ang kamay na bakal na pagmamayari o ang attitude ng mga Duterte family. Dito nga natin makikita mga kapatid na tila ba hindi na nga nakapagtiis itong si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte sa mga pinaggagawa nitong si Tambaloslos Romualdez at ng kanyang mga aso na tinatawag nating Quad Committee. Ngunit salamat na lang mga kaibigan dahil nga meron tayong Congressman Marcoleta na handang suportahan itong si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte at ang kanyang advokasya at lalo na rin ang mga gawain ng kanyang opisina. Mga kaibigan, dito nga natin makikita na hindi pala lahat ng nandito sa Kongreso ay tiwali dahil meron din mga taong todo suporta sa katotohanan at sa integridad ng ating bayan at meron talagang mga kongresistang handa namang suportahan kung ano ang tama. Well, para nga sa kabuang detalye ay panoorin ang buong video at kung bago ka pa lamang sa ating channel ay huwag kakalimutan mag-subscribe, pindutin ang notification bell upang laging maging updated sa mga balitang bago, totoo at walang bias dito sa channel ng bayan, ang Bayang Pinas. At salamat na rin sa ating mga solid viewers sa walang sawang pagsuporta. At huwag din pong kakalimutang mag-iwan ng like at i-share ang ating mga videos upang ang inyong mga kapatid, kapamilya at kaibigan ay maging aware din sa kung anong nangyayari sa ating bansa at sa kalagayan ng ating ekonomiya. At mga kaibigan, maraming salamat po muli and may God continue to bless and protect our country, especially those leaders na talagang nakikipaglaban para sa katotohanan at nilalabanan ang lahat ng katiwalian. Muli po, maraming salamat and God bless.
PH update. At para sa mga gusto sumali sa ating community, click nyo lang ho yung ating join button sa baba para kayo ang pinakaunang makakita pagka meron ho tayong upload. Huwag na ho nating patagalin to, no? Talagang yung ginagawang demolition dyan para dito kay Vice President Sara Duterte dyan sa House of Representatives. Talaga hong dire-diretso lang. Diyan sa APRO, ngayon naman dito sa good governance, ibang klase ho talaga 'tong mga congressman na 'to. Wala na hong ginawa kundi, mamulitika wala na hong ginawa kundi siraan itong si VP Sara dahil narinig niyo naman ho, pati yung pagsasalita nitong si Tambaluslos diyan sa House of Representatives, eh, talagang direktang patama lahat kay, Vice President Sara Duterte. Panoorin na ho natin 'to mga kababayan. Unahin na ho muna natin kung para saan nga ba itong, pagdinig na 'to diyan sa House of Representatives. Siyempre sinong magsasalita diyan, siyempre itong si Chua ho mga kababayan.
Section 29, paragraph
Hmm,
1 of Article 6 of the Constitution. No
okey.
money shall be paid out of the Treasury except in
Budget.
pursuance of an appropriation made by law. And Section 24 states that all appropriation, revenue and tariff bills, bills authorizing increase of public debt, bills of local application, and private bills shall originate exclusively in the House of Representatives. But the Senate may propose or concur with amendments. In a democratic republic such as ours, governmental powers are divided among three branches. Power of the sword to the executive, power of the pen to the judiciary, and the power of the purse is assigned to Congress. The power of the purse directly affects the lives of the people. We, the legislature, assumes the role of formulating spending and taxing policies. Saan huhugutin at paano gagastusin? ang gastusin ng gobyerno at ang buwis na ipinapataw sa mamamayang Pilipino upang suportahan ang mga gastusing ito ang nagdidikta kung saan ito ilalaan na siyang nakakaapekto sa galaw at paglago ng ekonomiya. Ito rin ang paraan upang magkaroon ng income redistribution. May 4 na parte sa budget process. Number 1, preparation. Number 2, legislation. Number 3, execution. And number 4, accountability. Habang ang ehekutibo ang naghahanda ng budget, tayo sa Kongreso ang nagbabalangkas ng batas ng budget. Implementation is with the executive at accountability ay nakalagak sa parehong Commission on Audit at Kongreso bilang parte ng ating oversight function. Para sa kaalaman ng lahat, the power of the purse and the role of Congress does not end with the passage of the General Appropriation Act. Kailangan malaman ng Kongreso paano ipatutupad ang appropriation law para siguraduhin na maayos itong ginastos at nakamit ang mga targets or desired outcomes ng bawat ahensyang nalagak ng pondo ng bayan. We have to ensure
Yun o bang mga flood control project ay maayos subang na ilatag yon? Nasagot ho ba ng maayos nitong si Kimbo yung mga tanong nitong si Congressman Herrera?
that funds are spent solely for purpose for which they have been appropriated.
Totoo, di nga. Ayaw nyo bang pag-usapan kung talagang nawaldas ng maayos yung pondo para sa flood control? Kasi doon sa flood control project issue, napakarami hong napeperwis yung mga kababayan natin. Talagang, wala, target lang ho nila, focus lang ho nila si Vice President Sara Duterte kahit lumubog na buong Pilipinas. Wala ho pakialam itong mga congressman na to. Kung makapagsalita, kaala mo kung sinong santo. Rekta na ho tayo, nakuha nyo na ho mga kababayan kung bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng ganyang klaseng pagdinig dyan sa House of Representatives. Dito ho tayo mga kababayan kay Vice President Sara Duterte.
A letter to the Office of the Vice President. You attached a copy of the rules
Okay.
in aid of legislation.
Yes po.
Yes, sir. Nakalagay po doon na witnesses lang po ang ino-oath. Sabi niyo po ngayon sa amin, resource persons kami.
Ang ano po, considered as resource person po.
Ang ano po.
Kayo po.
Kaya nga po.
Yes po. Lahat po ino-oath po.
Yes.
Apo.
Nakalagay po sa rules ninyo, witnesses. Nakalagay po dito ngayon sa table, resource persons.
Lahat po considered as resource person and witness. Lahat po naman kayo, lahat resource person pa eh. Wala pa naman po tayong tinatawag na, lahat po considered as resource
di ka
person
makasagot.
pa lang po.
Right. Opo. Ang nasa rules ninyo, witnesses lang po ang nag-o-oath. Wala po kayong rules sa resource persons.
Sige, sagot!
Ma'am, ano lang po yun eh. Yung term lang po yun eh. Pero considered as resource person din po kayo eh.
Yes, sir.
Opo.
Resource persons nga po
Kayo
nakalagay
witness
dito.
din po at saka resource person po.
Naku.
Hindi niyo po sinabi na witness ako. Sinabi niyo po dito ngayon, resource persons. Ang nakalagay po sa rules ninyo, witness.
Comsec, ano po yung pinadala po ninyo?
Yun pong rules in aid of legislation.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Ayun na.
What is the point of
Madam
order of
Gloria
the
na magsasalita.
Honorable
Because
Congressman
this issue about
Macapagal?
witness, resource person, etc., etc.
Ma'am,
was-
pakilakas lang po, hindi po marinig.
persons and accused has been taken up in previous legislative inquiries in aid of legislation. I want to quote a December 8, 2008 hearing in the Senate, where Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago had an opinion on a similar situation, but she quoted a Supreme Court ruling. So, the Constitution provides that no person shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. The Supreme Court has repeatedly emphasized that there is a difference between a mere witness and the accused. And it can appear from statements and privileged speeches that there is that a person who is the subject matter of an adverse privileged speech is not a mere witness or a mere person of interest, meaning a suspect. She is in fact accused of what seems to be a criminal case for violation of certain criminal laws, including malversation of public funds. And there is a case quoted in 2007, Standard Chartered Bank versus the Committee on Banks, where the court repeated the rule that an accused occupies a different tier of protection from an ordinary witness. So, where the court said, Supreme Court said, whereas an ordinary witness may be compelled to take the witness stand and claim the privilege at each question requiring an incriminating answer is shot at him, an accused may altogether refuse to take the witness stand and refuse to answer any or all questions.
Hindi nyo pa ba tatanggalin yan si Tambaluslos dyan bilang Speaker of the House at ipalit yan si Madam Gloria? Kasi nagmumukha na kayong anga dyan sa mga pinaggagawa nyo na yan. Yung mga resource person pala, hindi naman pinag-o-oath. Lahat pinag-o-oath nyo. Dapat lang pala yung mga witnesses. Anong toko ah?
So that has been a supreme. And then there is a portion, the court explained that the right of the accused against self-incrimination also applies to respondents in administrative investigations such as legislative inquiries in aid of legislation. So that is the point of order I am raising, and there is a Supreme Court ruling to this effect. Thank you, Mr.
Supreme Court ruling
With
ha?
that, the chair declares 1 minute suspension. Recess.
Naku po. Naku po, nagsuspindi itong si Chua. Hanap kayo ng abogado. Hanap ka, wag mong tinuturo si VP Sara. Hanap kayong abogado. Anong turo-turo dyan?
Congresswoman
Game.
Arroyo, may I know if, may I be clarified if the tenor of your
Anong tawag dito? Si Akop. Si Akop ang kinuhanan niya ng info.
point of inquiry is referring to the sub judice case or rule?
Referring to the sub judice case, but it is saying that when a witness, in fact, is in reality the accused.
Ma'am, pakilakas po ng konti. Medyo hindi ko po...
What he's saying is that if by the nature, for instance, of the privileged speech, if the witness is not a mere but the person being asked is not a mere witness or a mere person of interest, he is in fact the accused of what seems to be a case including malversation of public funds. And the court repeated the rule that an accused occupies a different tier of protection from an ordinary witness. So from given what Miriam Defensor Santiago said and the Supreme Court ruling that she's quoting, we cannot we cannot just trivialize. Kasi you're just a witness. You're a witness. Pareho na rin yung witness, resource person. They are not the same. The Supreme Court says they are not the same. And somebody who appears to be the accused
Naiintindihan mo
has a
yun.
different tier of protection from a witness. And in fact, can refuse to take the witness stand.
Congressman Flores, you're recognized.
Mr. Chair, this is an inquiry in aid of legislation, and no one is
Mr.
technically accused of any wrongdoing here, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, look at the speech.
Ma'am,
Look at the
please,
speech, Mr. Chair,
ma'am,
the privilege.
please
Oh.
wait to be
Mr.
recognized.
Chair, may I request a
Wait.
1
I will-
minute
I will-
recess?
1 minute. 1 minute
Thank
recess
you.
declared by the
Yes.
chair.
Yan, sige. Binababoy nyo kasi. Binababoy nyo kasi si Vice President Sara Duterte nagpakalam kay Congressman Rodante Marcoleta. Gusto nyo kasi, di pa kasi nag-uumpisa yung ano, di pa ho kasi nag-uumpisa yung, hearing, kababuyan ng mga pinagsasabi nyo. Yan ang problema dyan sa inyo sa House of Representatives. Wow, nice one! Na, gusto nyo ba nakikita nyo dyan? Gusto nyo ba nakikita nyo dyan? Palakpakan! Gusto nyo ba nakikita nyo dyan? Tayo kasi gusto natin, nakikita natin dyan. Palakpakan, palakpakan. Ayos, ayos, ayos. Ayos, 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 ayos. Maraming salamat. Saludo, saludo, saludo. Saludo, saludo. Saludo sa mga yan. Saludo. Grabe naman yun, Bibi Sara. Marami na naman mag-iiyakan sa social.
Mr. Chair. Yes. Mr. Chair.
Session resumes.
Mr. Chair, may I speak?
You will be given the opportunity later,
Okay.
Madam Vice President. In any event, the point of the Honorable Arroyo is well taken, but we will proceed to the oath taking. If the Vice President refuse to take her oath, we will respect that. In the meantime, COMSEC, please proceed with the oath taking of the other witnesses.
To all the other witnesses,
Yun, pakinggan mo natin si VP Sara dito.
Message.
Pakinggan
Yes,
natin.
ma'am. You are recognized, ma'am.
A message, sir, or my statement regarding the point of order? Message? Mga kababayan, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum, Warakmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Madayaw, mayong adlaw, kaninyong tanan. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. The officials of the Office of the Vice President, as well as each and every one of our satellite office leads, were in receipt of a letter from the chairman of the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability dated September 13, 2024, requesting our presence or that of our duly authorized representatives in today's initial deliberation with preliminary determination on privilege speech number 379. In view of the said letter, I am appearing before you today not only as the head of office, but more importantly, as the duly authorized representative of all officials of the OVP. Simply because we have not done anything wrong. There is no misuse of funds. If there are audit findings, we shall gladly respond to them before the Commission on Audit. And if there are legitimate cases to be filed, then we shall gladly respond to them before the appropriate courts. In relation to this, may I just say that I take notice of the opening speeches and nasabi doon, there is a determination of misfeasance, nonfeasance, and malfeasance. And those are cases that should properly be taken in the courts of law. What we are witnessing now is no ordinary legislative inquiry. This exercise is a well-funded and coordinated political attack.
Correct.
This much is evident from the very words of the privileged speech that prompted this inquiry. A speech that simply meant to say, do not vote for Sara on 2028.
Correct.
It is clear to me that this inquiry is not about misused funds, accountability, or governance. Instead, it is solely aimed at discrediting my name and my office to prevent future political contests. I have publicly stated my reasons as to why I've chosen not to defend the OVP's budget proposal for 2025. I have narrated the issues I encountered in previous years, which can easily be confirmed by looking at the NEP, the GAB, and the GAA for fiscal years 2023 and 2024. Further, I have even shared the drama that transpired last year regarding the confidential funds. Hence, just as we have done last year, we again leave the 2025 OVP budget to the pleasure of Congressman Martin Romualdez. I am not asking for any special treatment, nor am I asking you to uphold any tradition. There is no disrespect. All I am saying is that you have the complete freedom to do whatever you wish with the OVP budget. If you feel that all the documentary submissions are not enough, then by all means, huwag kayo magbigay ng budget. Sa totoo lang, hindi naman ang budget ang punteriya ninyo. Dahil napakadali naman magtanggal ng budget. What you are trying to do is make a case for impeachment.
Naku.
Hindi
Yeah.
naman ako kakandidato sa nalalapit na eleksyon. Hindi ako namumulitika. Ang ginagawa ko lamang ay ang pagtupad sa aking oath of office
Tamba,
at
makinig ka.
campaign platforms na trabaho, edukasyon, at mapayapang pamumuhay. Sinabi ko na noon at ilang beses ko nang inulit na hindi ako ang problema ng bayan na ito. Ang totoong problema ng bayan ay kagutuman, kahirapan, illegal na droga, kriminalidad, terorismo, hindi na sapat na healthcare, kalidad ng edukasyon, kawalan ng plano ng infrastruktura para sa disasters, at marami pang iba. So, you may try to destroy me, you can skin me alive, and throw my ashes to the wind. But let it be known, you will find me unbowed. I will continue to serve the Filipino people no matter the personal cost or political intrigue. Having said that, I will not allow myself to be subjected to an inquiry based on an empty, privileged speech, just so you can attack me and do indirectly what you failed to do directly during the budget hearings. I therefore request this committee to terminate this inquiry for its clear lack of any proposed legislation or substantive matter for discussion. Shukran.
The committee cannot rule on that because the committee already took cognizance of this privileged speech. Anyway, we will now proceed. Next,
Chair.
we will recognize the
Mr.
representative from COA,
Kung
Mr.
Dante
Chair.
muna, kung Dante game.
ay Congressman Marcoleta.
May I please raise a parliamentary inquiry?
What is your parliamentary inquiry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mahalunan
The
sa
rules
bayan
of
ng
the
Pilipino yung
committee-
mama na yan.
Says that this committee only acquires jurisdiction on matters of nonfeasance, misfeasance, malfeasance. And under Section 2, Mr. Chair of the rules, there should be a prior determination whether or not these malfeasance, nonfeasance, and misfeasance are directly or specifically relating to the persons charged of this. Has this committee made a prior determination of this? And if so, when did it happen? And where is the order specifying that the committee has just reached
Mga
a prior
bangag,
determination?
advance mag-isip.
This is very important, Mr. Chair, because the rules also says that after determining or making a prior determination, this committee will set an order, and that is the only way that this committee acquire jurisdiction over the person's subject matter of this inquiry. And that particular order of prior determination will set out the parameters. If I can make a comparison, Mr. Chair, in regular court, it is called pre-trial order, where the parameters of the inquiry, the presentation of evidence or explanations or allegations are limited to that set of stipulation. So considering, Mr. Chair, and I assume that there is no prior determination, I do not think how we can start the meeting today because we are supposed to observe the rules. I am referring to Section 2 of the rules of this committee, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. To answer that, Congressman Marcoleta, we have already ruled on the preliminary determination a while ago. Medyo na-late na po kayo. Now, with respect to your inquiry, that if we can proceed with this, considering that this is an investigation of malfeasance, misfeasance, and nonfeasance, let me walk you through through the definition of good government and public accountability. It provides that all matters directly and principally relating to malfeasance, misfeasance, and nonfeasance in office committed by officers and employees of the government and its political subdivision and instrumentalities, inclusive of investigations of any matter of public interest on its own initiative or upon order of the House. For the information of everybody, the issue on confidential fund is a matter of public interest. Lahat po tayo.
Di ba mo ba, nasa COA na yung issue na yan. Anong gagawin nyo? Ha? Ano na naman kabalbal ang gagawin nyo dyan?
Ay interesado, hindi lamang po tayo, yung publiko po, interesado kung paano po ito nagamit. Kaya yun po ang dahilan why this committee has jurisdiction over the subject matter.
But Mr.
Yes,
Chair,
Congressman Marcoleta.
Mr. Chair, under Section 5, there should be a record of preliminary determination. It says that the proceedings in the preliminary investigation or determination shall be recorded through stenographic notes. What you were mentioning are motu proprio cases. I am assuming that this committee started by way of a referral because of a privileged speech delivered on the floor by one of us. And so this is the main subject matter of this committee meeting, and to which we should first determine preliminarily whether or not this committee acquires jurisdiction. And I demand a record of preliminary determination under Section 5 because it says, upon termination thereof, Mr. Chair, the chairperson shall issue an order which shall recite in details the matters taken up. So what are the matters taken up, Mr. Chair? I think we should be able to comply with these elementary rules as specified. in the governing rules?
Well, considering that we are still in the, we have yet to proceed to the interpellation, we are still in the period of recognizing the resource person as well as the witness. With that, the chair declares 1 minute suspension.
Yun ang ba sinasabi natin. Ang problema kasi pagka sobrang dami na hong ginagawa nilang kalokohan, hindi ho talaga lulusot yan. Hindi ho talaga lulusot sa mga matitunong congressman dyan, kagaya nitong si Congressman Rodante Marcoleta. No? Hindi ho makakalusot yung mga ano na yan, yung mga maniobra nitong si Tambaluslos at nitong si Chua. Yun lang naman ho ang punto doon, talagang gusto ho nilang gisahin itong si VP Sara diyan sa ano na yan, diyan sa hearing na yan. Wala naman ho silang ano diyan, yung mga batas na gustong ipasa. Basta gusto lang ho nila mapapunta diyan si VP Sara, matanong ng kung ano-ano doon sa mga bagay na nasagot naman sa ano sinasagot diyan sa COA. Yun lang naman ang gusto mangyari ng komite nitong si ano nitong si Chua. Ayun si Ako po. Naku po. Isa sa mga ano yan, mga tambaluslos ngayong mga panahon na to. Isa ho sa mga aso ni Tambayan, yang si ano pangalan nito? Yang si Akop, no? Kaya nawalan ho tayo ng gana diyan sa mamana. Nakala pa naman natin dati merong prinsipyo. Pero pansin niyo ho, hindi ho makana nitong si Tambaluslos, yang si Congressman Rodante Marcoleta. Hindi ho makana nitong si Tambaluslos, itong si Congressman Rodante Marcoleta at itong si PGMA. Ako ito lang, sa tingin ko mga kababayan, pagka uminit ang sitwasyon diyan sa House of Representatives, di ho tayo magtataka kung biglang maging speaker ulit yang si PGMA. No, pagka nagbabago ng timpla ng tubig, hindi ho tayo magtataka kung biglang maging speaker yang si PGMA. At kung sa mga darating na panahon, kung tatakbo itong si VP Sara at kung maghahanap siya ng Vice President, sa atin ako nakikita ko itong si Congressman Rodante Marcoleta, magiging mahusay na Vice President itong mama na to. Hindi na, talon na ho siya. Kung pagiging senador, nalampasan na ho niya yung trabaho ng karamihan sa mga senador ngayon sa ating bansa. Sa totoo lang, real talk lang tayo dito. Kung tayo tatanungin, wala nang magsisenador pa siya, hindi na. Siguro ngayong 2025 para nakapwesto na siya dyan sa Senado, pero sa 2028 dapat mag-Vice President yang si Congressman Rodante Marcoleta. Base kasi sa mga nakikita nating prinsipyo pagtayo sa mga issue ngayong mga panahon na to, yang si Kong Dante lang nakikita natin na merong ganyang klaseng lakas ng loob na tayuan ng mga kabalintunaan ng administrasyon na to.